Keep it on, leave it on. We've got to go. We've got to go. We're in the shelter. We're going, okay? We're going.
Take that, take that, take that.
Let's set up in here. Give me one, give me one. We've just had to be taking shelter here in the basement underneath where volunteers are working. The scene behind me, one of, well, it was frantic. We were just called in before we were meant to go live to you to run into the basement after reports of incoming indirect fire, likely rockets from the Gaza Strip. Obviously, that's unconfirmed right now. These likely rocket attacks coming in the last 2 or 3 minutes are almost certainly connected to attacks that we have seen reported in the last hour across the northern regions, where Lebanese Hezbollah and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad has almost certainly launched drone attacks and terrorist infiltration of the northern border. This was almost certainly a coordinated attack with those on the Gaza Strip, as we've seen Hamas launching rocket attacks north into the northern region at the same time. So clearly some degree of link between those fighting in the north and those fighting in the south, two terrorist groups linking together. The scene here obviously is, well, they're used to it here, we're not. They're going to get a briefing soon, I imagine, on the situation, but this is just another day in Israel for people who've been raised here over the years. Having said that, this situation is unprecedented. This is the worst violence they've seen here in 50 years, and there are great concerns about what might happen next. Everybody here has been working throughout the day to supply civilians and soldiers with the stuff they need. They have been working, we have seen it, thousands of people coming through. This basement here, about an hour ago, was a drive-through. People would come in with trucks, they would unload them with supplies, new supplies would go in, and then they would depart, heading to the north or heading to the south. In the north, there are mostly reservists, 360,000 activated in the last 5 days by the Israeli government, now a unity government. And in the south, regular soldiers have been building up that convoy on the border with Gaza, but also trying to clear out the remaining terrorists from Hamas who infiltrated the border on Saturday morning. We understand that some 18 remaining terrorists were killed this morning. Many more were fighting overnight. It's likely that they dug into the ground and stayed after the attacks occurred on Saturday. I think the briefing is going on now. I should probably go and pay attention to that. But back to you, Patrick.